Hi folks, so I'm Jackie Keats, and I'm a NCT antenatal teacher, hypnobirthing practitioner, cognitive behavioural hypnotherapist, and have various other hats too. I'm a reflexologist and baby massage practitioner, and I'm popping on here today to talk about frequently asked questions around hypnobirthing courses. I find that when I get phone calls or inquiries, email inquiries, inquiring about courses I'm running, the same questions come up time and time again. So I thought I'd do a quick video and share some slides around what those typical questions are and go through each one and answer them in turn. So I'm just going to share the screen now, so bear with me 1 second. Okay, put it on large. So, when should I start a hypnobirthing course? So this one comes up a lot. So there are no hard and fast rules. I would say after 20 weeks is pretty common time. Having said that, I have had couples join or women join really early on, like 14 weeks or so, for reasons personal to them. For example, one woman, she was leaving the country and she wanted to particularly do a course with myself, and so she did it early on because she wouldn't have been in the country past 20 weeks. So some people are very keen to do it quite early on. Most wait until after 20 weeks. Some wait much later, kind of like into close to their due date. So anything from like 34 weeks, 35 weeks even. It's never too late to start. But ideally, we want the person to start sooner than later, just because it gives you more time for that all important practice, which is actually very reassuring and it's very pleasant to do. It's kind of, I mean, it's called practice, but it's just kind of listening to the audios, enjoying the relaxation, enjoying the positive feelings around your upcoming birth. And it gives you plenty of time to read the book that you receive as part of the course, which I'll talk about towards the end. So you get a chance to read that, a chance to digest it all, a chance to practice it out without feeling rushed around it. So ideally, the more time you have, the better. However, if you do come along later, don't be put off by the fact that you're later on in your pregnancy. It just means maybe you need to up it a little bit more and do more frequent practice rather than kind of a long, slow, gentle build up. You can maybe just up the ante a little bit more. And if you have plenty of time, you can kind of take your time and build it up slowly. So there you go. Kind of not no one size fits all. The most common time I'd say is between 20 and 30 weeks, but some much earlier and some much later. And often people ask me, well, if I'm doing an NCT course or another branded course, should I do the hypnobirthing before or after? And again, it doesn't matter, but usually with NCT courses and other full antenatal courses, they tend to start quite later in the pregnancy, usually past 30 weeks-ish. So again, you might want to choose to do the hypnobirthing a bit earlier, but it doesn't matter whether you started your NCT course or not, or where you are in your antenatal journey. The course that I facilitate would kind of complement any course that you're doing. And the book that you receive will go through all the topics around labour and birth that you would expect to cover in a full antenatal course. So some people choose not to do any other antenatal courses and just do my course, and they find that the book they receive and the support that they receive, ongoing support, is enough for them. Others choose to do other courses and they find it slots in very, very well with it because it's a short, condensed course, which is then backed up by the book. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, what's included in baby bumps hypnobirthing course? So you receive a copy of my book. Let's talk about preparing for your baby's birth. The Pinter and Martin Let's Talk About series book, which came out recently. And it's kind of an antenatal course in the book, as I've already mentioned. So you receive that, and that comes with 10 audio downloads. So you may not want, there'll be some audio downloads that you prefer to others, so you can kind of dip in and out, choose the ones that you like. So 10 altogether. Some are around mindfulness. There are a couple, one's around caesarean birth, one's for induction of labour, which, unless those scenarios are on the card, you probably wouldn't listen to those audios unless you knew that you were going to have a planned caesarean, or your situation changed and then you decided that caesarean is the best route for you, or you decided that induction of labour was the right thing. Then you could listen to those audios. Otherwise, probably wouldn't touch those. There's one for a birth partner. And lots of just birth preparation, breathing practice, affirmations. There are two breathing practice audio, so you can really get to practice your breathing techniques whilst being guided along with that. Other things, so with hypnobirthing, it's kind of antenatal education. So it's a combination of antenatal education and understanding kind of the power of the mind and different breathing and relaxation techniques you can use to keep calm and kind of focused on the day. So in my course, I would include the first part of the course would be the antenatal education part. So for example, we take a look at the stages of labour, how to know when to go in, and kind of what hypnobirthing stuff you do along the stages of each kind of stage of labour. All your options and choices. Very big on informed decision making, so that kind of underpins the whole of the course. So what kind of questions you can ask, what your options and choices are, and there are plenty. You don't have to agree with what's being suggested right away. There's lots of things you can do and questions you can ask to kind of find out what's the right choice for you. We'll take a look at, looking at my little list here, place of birth, so home birth versus labour ward versus birth centre. What's the difference between all of those situations, scenarios? Hormones, environment and birth partner's role, so what helps and hinders labour and what you can do about it. And the key there is that the woman's environment is really, really important, and a big part of that is around kind of the birth partner's roles, helping to kind of get that environment right. Physical skills, so things like positions for labour, breathing techniques and massage skills, and we touch upon, like I said, informed decision making, and around that we touch upon induction of labour as well. But we don't spend too long. It's a short course because it's designed to work alongside the book, and it's designed to work alongside any other course you might be doing. I was finding people weren't interested in a big long course. They found quite often people were doing other courses which are 12 hours plus in length, and they didn't then want to commit to another big long course which perhaps repeated a lot of the information. So the first part of the course, antenatal education part, we discuss things, we go through things, but not in a, we don't spend hours and hours going through it. We touch upon things, and then you're invited to go and read into far more depth, much more depth, via the book and via all the follow-up information you receive as well. And then after that, we'll take a look at all the hypnobirthing elements as well, and the specific breathing techniques and everything to do with the hypnobirthing side of things. So yeah, does my partner have to attend, or can my partner attend? Yeah, partners are really, really welcome, very, very much welcomed, if relevant. I've had lots of mums who've chosen to come on their own, or their partners can't make it, or they're single parents, and it doesn't matter. So if you want to bring a partner along, that's fantastic. If you can't, or you don't have a partner, that doesn't make any difference either. If you do have a partner and they can't make it, then the book, like I said, the book that they're going to receive, as long as they read that, they'll have a really good insight into, the typical things that you're going to come across during pregnancy and labour. And of course, there's a big hypnobirthing section in there, which is pretty in depth. So as long as they read that, they'll have a really good idea of what's going on. Where do I hold my courses? So I hold them at Kingston Hospital, and I live in Crystal Palace, so I hold them in Crystal Palace, Beckenham, Brixton, one-to-ones as well, providing you're relatively close to Crystal Palace. But of course, it's all been on Zoom, good old Zoom this past year, thanks to the current situation. So yes, Zoom is where it's at right now. Is there a distance learning course? It's yes, well, not quite yet, but almost there. So in the process of recording that and getting that sorted now. And when that's up and ready to roll, feel free to get in touch and I can send you information about that. You receive exactly the same information. You receive the book and all the audios and all the follow-up information. And support is available up until your baby's born. So once the course is finished, that doesn't mean that's the end of any correspondence. You're always very welcome to get in touch. If your situation changes, if you want to talk through anything, I'm only an email away, a phone call away, or even jumping on Zoom takes seconds to do. So yeah, to mention that earlier. Is that everything? So one more question. Oh, that's it. So yeah, if you've got any more questions, feel free to give me a call, text, WhatsApp, whatever you need to do. I'm very happy to chat through things. I think I find that it's good to talk, as I say, so I can find out what you want from the course, and we can get a little bit more information and see if my course is going to be meet your expectations and get what you'd like. I find, because I've been facilitating courses for over 8 years now, so I've had the pleasure of working with many hundreds of parents. So I think I've managed to hone the course down to exactly what parents are looking for, to feel confident, prepared and ready for their birth. But it's always really good to talk to parents on the telephone or via email, get a bit more information as well from you, just so I can know exactly what it is that you want from the course and make sure that I tailor it to meet your needs, so you go away feeling really happy, confident, and looking forward to your baby's birth. So let me just stop sharing the screen. So that's it. I hope that's been useful, and any questions, feel free to get in touch for a chat. See you later.